Hi everyone, I welcome you all for the video on the part 2 of isolable analogy. In this video, we are going to understand the extensions of isolable analogy and also we will be doing some problems. Isolable analogy can be extended to the charged species also. The charge can be both on the main group fragment as well as on the organometallic fragment. Ligands other than the carbonyl group can also be considered. For example, if phosphine is the ligand, this will be considered as a 2-electron donor and it is a monodentate ligand which occupies one coordinate point around the metal. Now, other ligand that can be considered is the cyclopentadienyl anion. This is a 5-electron donor. It's a tridentate ligand or it occupies three coordinating point around the metal. The other is a benzene ligand. This is considered as a 6-electron donor and this is also a tridentate ligand which occupies three coordinating point around the metal. Now, first we will consider the charged species. Now, in that the first one is the organometallic fragment is charged. So this is, we are very familiar with this organometallic fragment, MnCO5 times, which is a 17 electron fragment, which is isolable with the 7 electron fragment of CH3. So now let us consider the neutral, cationic and anionic fragment. The neutral fragment is the same. Rhenium is the present in the same group as that of the manganese. Now, when we replace rhenium with the iron, so the number of electrons now becomes 8 plus 10 becomes 18. So there is a loss of 1 electron from that, which results to 17 electrons. When I replace chromium, when I replace iron with chromium, then there are 6 electrons from chromium plus 10 electrons from carbonyl. So 16. So gain of 1 electron will result in the 17 electron fragment on the organometallic side. And this can be isolable with the neutral 7 electron fragment on the organic side. So it is not necessary that neutral can be isolable only with neutral or charged should be isolable only with the charged species. There is no rule like that. The two things that we have to consider here are the number of electrons, that is whatever be the number of n is the number of electron on the organic fragment, add 10 to it on the organometallic fragment. That is the first consideration. Second one, how many vertices are lost on both the sides? The number of vertices lost on the both the sides should be the same. So that is why this is a these are this is one electron, one corner less from tetrahedron, and all these are one corner less in octahedron. So that is why these two sets of species are isolable. Now we will see an example where organic fragment is charged. We are going to keep the number of vertices same. That means that there is, in all the cases, there is a loss of one vertices on tetrahedron as well as on the octahedron. Now decrease one electron from CS3. CS3 is 7 electron. So you remove one electron, it becomes a 6 electron species. This will be isolable with any 16 electron species on the organometallic side with one vertex less, one corner less. So that means one corner less means from 6 to 5. So that means 10 electrons are fixed on this side. So that means the remaining is going to be 6 electrons. So chromium can be the metal and all the other elements are from the same group as that of the chromium, will be the 16 electron fragment which will be isolable with the 6 electron fragment of CS3 plus. Another example from CS3 is increase the number of electron on CS3 by adding one minus charge so that it becomes a 8 electron fragment. So the number of vertices is still 5. That means one corner less. So 10 electrons from the carbonyl group. That means 8 electrons should be from the metal. So the metal should be iron or the elements from the iron group. So these two sets of species are isolable to each other. So all these organometallic fragments are one corner less of parent polyhedron, that is octahedron. similar to the organic fragments where the parent polyhedron is tetrahedron. So we have taken an example like this, but other organic fragments like CH2, CH2 plus, CH2 minus, everything can be considered. But for example sake, only one is taken here. So we will try to understand CH2 plus by doing a problem. Identify the organometallic fragment isolable with CH2 plus. So first step whenever you see such kind of problem is calculate the number of electron from CH2 plus. There are four electrons from carbon and two electrons from hydrogen. So 6 electron plus charge is there. So minus 1. So the organic fragment is a 5 electron fragment. So this means that I have to consider a 15 electron fragment on the organometallic side. So this is the first observation. The second observation is how many corners are empty on the organic fragment. On organic fragment, when I consider CH2, it is from CH4. That means two hydrogens or two corners are lost. So I have to consider the two corners vacant from the octahedron. So octahedron is coordination number 6. So in the organometallic fragment, the coordination number is going to be 4. If the coordination number is 4, then the number of carbonyl group is fixed. So there should be definitely 4 carbonyl groups that has to be present. You cannot have 3 carbonyls or 5 carbonyls, because then only these two compounds will be isolable. So in that case, out of this 8 electrons are coming from the 4 carbonyls itself. So this means that the contribution from the metal is 7. Now the contribution from the metal could be a neutral metal from manganese, or the anionic metallic species, that is chromium will be 6 plus 1 electron added, so this will be a 7, or a cationic metallic species where iron is 8 with the loss of 1 electron, it becomes 7. So any 7 electron metal species can be considered. So the answer will be CH2 plus, which is a 5 electron fragment, can be isolable with the anionic, neutral or cationic 15 electron fragment on the organometallic side. We'll do another problem here with some other ligand. Find organic fragment that is isolable with nickel cyclopentadienyl complex. So here in the previous problem we have taken the organic fragment and found out the organometallic fragment. Here we have taken the organometallic fragment and we are going to find out what is the organic fragment. So the first one is the fragment is this. The first one is to count the number of electron. Nickel is 10, and because this is S2D8, so 10 electrons on nickel, and we have already seen that the 5 electron count for cyclopentadienyl group, so it is a 15 electron fragment. So immediately that comes to my mind is the organic fragment that I have to consider is a 5 electron fragment. And the next point that I have to consider is how many corners are empty in the organometallic fragment. We know that the cyclopentadienyl is a tridentate ligand, which means that it occupies 3 space around nickel. So the parent is octahedron, which means that 3 corners are empty. So the number of corners empty in the organic fragment also should be 3. So that means from CH4, I have to remove 3 hydrogens, which will result in CH. But the CH also happens to be a 5 electron fragment. So this nickel, the cyclopentadienyl complex is isolable with CH. So here this table, which is taken from the Mason tar, gives the extensive view of the different isolable fragments. The neutral hydrocarbons can be considered, or anionic hydrocarbons can be considered, or the cationic hydrocarbon fragments can be considered. Now here the electron count is 8. This here also electron count is 8, and all these species are electron count, but I cannot put FeCO5 here because in FeCO5 there is one vertex less from the parent octahedron. So this has to be considered only with CH3. But the number of electrons that are present in FeCO 5 times is 18. So that means the corresponding species on hydrocarbon should be an 8 electron species. So with one vertex less, the species is CH3, which is 7. So to make it isolobal, I'm adding one electron to it so that it becomes a 8 electron species with one vertex or one corner less, so that it becomes isolobal to FeCO5. So similarly, I cannot put all these are 7 electron species, CH3, CH2 minus, CH4 plus, all these are all these are 7 electron species, and all these 7 electron species, in all these cases I cannot shift VCO6 times to CH2 minus or to CH3, because VCO6 times in this polyhedron all the corners are filled. That means it should be considered with CH4 only, right? So that is why I have considered this here. The number of electrons that are present in all these cases are carbon 4 and hydrogen 3. So there is going to be 7 electron. Here carbon 4, hydrogen 2 and 1 anion, 1 electron. So again 7 electron. Again this is 4 plus 4, 8. 8 minus 1, 7. So all these are 7 electron on the hydrocarbon species, and all the organometallic carbons or organometallic fragments are 17 electron species. So like that, even though the number of electrons are same, I want you to understand that CrCO 5 times can never be isolobal with NiCO 3 times. So based on this, we will do a tricky problem. Find a suitable isolobal fragment for CO4 times. So the here in the options that are given are CH3, CH2 minus, CH4 plus, and CH3 plus. So first do the electron count. The organometallic fragment is a 17 electron fragment. So I have done the options, electron count for the options. Then I have found that out of 4 options, 3 options have 7 electron and 1 option has 6 electron count. So I'm going to remove this option from the answer. But how will I know which is the correct answer? Because 17 electron species will be in isolobal with all the 7 electron species. No, we have to now consider the calculate the number of empty corners on the organometallic fragment. So the organometallic fragment under consideration is the parent is octahedron. So the organometallic fragment that is under consideration is with the 2 corners lost. So that means when I consider all the options in organic fragment, the 2 corners are empty in option B. So CH2 minus is isolobal with CO 4 times. See, this is not only such kind of isolobal analogy. It's not only used for electron counting schemes. Sometimes it is also very useful for understanding or synthesizing some new compounds. So we will try to understand it from one example. There are many examples and research papers are quoted in different books. You can also follow Gupta and Elias' book for this understanding. We will take up one example for the application of isolobal analogy. We know that CH is a 5 electron fragment, 4 from carbon and 1 from hydrogen. So it's a 5 electron fragment. So it is also equivalent to phosphorus, which is a 5 electron species, because phosphorus is NS2NP3. If this is the case, is it possible to synthesize um, eta C5H5 analog with phosphorus? Because CH, this can be considered as CH 5 times. That means every CH is a 5 electron fragment. Can every CH be replaced with phosphorus? So here we see that the CH 5 times is replaced with phosphorus 5 times. So such compounds are being prepared. This we can see that the parent compound is ferrocin, where one of the cyclopentadienyl ring is replaced with the P5 ring, and this is a complete carbon-free metallocene which contains a P5 ring. Such compounds are reported in literature. Now this is the exercise for you for the following the this a problem I have taken from Mason and Tar. You have to find out the isolable organometallic fragment for all these and organic fragment for all this. So this one is to find out the organometallic part and this one is to find out the organic part. So you can either refer the book or you can do the exercise on your own. I have shared the PDF of the whole PowerPoint presentation for your reference. So you can do the problem, make note of the problem from the PDF of the PowerPoint also. Thank you so much for listening.